Welcome to our channel where hidden treasures of everyday coins are revealed, and today, we unravel the astonishing story behind a coin that many overlook but could potentially turn an ordinary collector into a millionaire overnight, the 1975 1-cent coin, a tiny copper piece that has baffled experts, stunned numismatists, and ignited a frenzy among collectors due to its shocking valuation of $142 million, a value driven not by its face worth or even by metal content, but rather by its breathtakingly rare errors, minting anomalies, and unique historical context that converge to create one of the most extraordinary penny specimens in American coin history. And as we dive into the rich layers of facts, speculation, and discovery surrounding this copper wonder, it becomes clear that what makes this coin so incredibly valuable is a perfect storm of unintentional mishaps, intentional quirks, production confusion, and the elusive pursuit of perfection that occasionally led to spectacular mistakes at the Denver Mint in 1975, when coin production was undergoing rapid modernization and adjustments in mechanical precision, which, rather ironically, resulted in the emergence of coins like the 1975 penny that now command multi-million-dollar attention, with several elements contributing to its mythical status, beginning with the double die obverse error, a condition where the obverse of the coin, namely the side with Lincoln's profile, was struck twice with a slight misalignment causing overlapping impressions, particularly visible in the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1975, creating a ghost-like doubling effect that is not only extremely rare but also visually captivating to the trained eye. And when such doubling happens during a single production year on a coin with high circulation expectations, the discovery of even one such anomaly adds tremendous rarity to the item. And when this doubling error occurs on a coin struck at the Denver Mint, which already had quality control challenges in the mid-70s, it becomes even more notable, but that's only the beginning of what makes the 1975's penny a numismatic marvel, as some of these coins were discovered to have off-center strikes, with the image and inscriptions noticeably shifted away from the center of the coin, sometimes by as much as 15 to 20%, which is a substantial misalignment in the coin world, further indicating that the coin was improperly fed into the striking chamber, leading to incomplete designs and warped shapes that are exceptionally rare in this mint year. And while off-center strikes are valuable in general, their presence on a double die coin elevates the value exponentially. And then there is the notorious die clash error, a phenomenon that occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a coin planchet between them, causing elements of the opposite design to be imprinted faintly where they shouldn't be, such as portions of the Lincoln Memorial appearing behind Lincoln's head or partial outlines of Lincoln's profile showing up beneath the memorial steps, a mistake that is both bizarre and deeply fascinating to coin error collectors, especially when it is found on a 1975's specimen where such die clashes were not supposed to happen given the mint's protocols at the time. And if that wasn't enough, some 1975 pennies have been reported to show rare transitional metal compositions, with speculation suggesting that leftover planchets from previous years, particularly from the 1974 aluminum cent experiment, may have been mistakenly struck with the 1975 dies, creating an ultra-rare copper-plated aluminum cent hybrid, although extremely few examples have been seen in public, and their very existence remains controversial yet plausible due to the known chaos surrounding the aluminum cent controversy of the early 1970s, and these coins, if confirmed, would be worth millions on their own given the immense collector demand for experimental or transitional composition coins. And in addition to these errors, another mystery surrounding the 1975's penny is the presence of certain planchet flaws and lamination cracks, where the copper surface appears to peel or split due to imperfections in the metal rolling process, a defect that, when appearing on key date coins, can elevate their desirability, especially if the flaw intersects with Lincoln's face or iconic design elements, thereby creating a striking visual deviation from the intended perfection. And further enhancing the mythology of the 1975 coin is the extreme rarity of high-grade examples, those graded MS-68 or above by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, which are almost unheard of, with fewer than a handful known to exist, making even a Mint State 67 example a treasure. But when you couple that level of preservation with known errors, like double die and off-center strike, the value soars astronomically. And as stories have emerged of private collectors and estate auction winners uncovering these gems tucked away in old penny jars or inherited coin folders, the mystique surrounding the 1975 cent continues to grow, fueling an active secondary market with sky-high prices and speculative bidding wars that have only driven interest even higher. And not to be overlooked are the documented instances of repunched mint marks, RPM, another key error found on some 1975 D pennies, where the D mint mark appears to have been punched more than once in slightly different positions, causing a blurry or shadowed effect that is highly desirable to collectors specializing in mint mark anomalies, and such errors were a result of manual mint mark application processes that had not yet transitioned to the fully mechanized systems adopted in the 1980s, and some of the most valuable 1975 D pennies exhibit a rare trifecta of errors, including double die obverse, repunch mint mark, and off-center strike, combinations that exist in incredibly small numbers and are virtually priceless when found in pristine condition, and it's also crucial to recognize the role of provenance in determining the value of such coins, as 1975 D cents that have been authenticated and traced back to original bankrolls or official Denver Mint sources often carry more weight in value discussions, especially when accompanied by letters of authenticity, grading certification, or historical documentation. And in at least one instance, a 1975 D penny was discovered with a completely blank reverse, a minting anomaly so rare that it defied conventional understanding of coin production, yet confirmed through metallurgical and numismatic analysis, and if that example alone reached a multi-million-dollar valuation. Imagine the potential of a coin exhibiting multiple layered errors with pristine surfaces and rich copper luster, and because the 1975 D penny was minted in the billions, the assumption is that it's a common coin, yet this very volume of production increases the chances for rare errors to slip through unnoticed, thus giving rise to the thrilling treasure hunt dynamic that now surrounds this date, with amateur collectors, metal detector enthusiasts, and estate hunters scanning through penny hoards in hopes of finding the next $142 million mistake, and as awareness grows, more and more people are reporting oddities, such as coins with ghost images, reverse design doubling, tilted collar strikes, or clipped planchets, all of which add to the lore and economic potential of the 1975's D series, and when a coin like this becomes the subject of major numismatic expos, scholarly journal articles, and national auction houses, it officially graduates from mere error coin to cultural phenomenon, and while some dismiss the hype as speculative mania, the hard truth remains that certified examples of known error types are consistently fetching staggering prices, sometimes even surpassing rare gold coins or early American colonial issues, simply because of the unprecedented mix of rarity, demand, and storytelling potential behind this seemingly humble penny, and the $142 million valuation, while perhaps appearing extreme at first glance, becomes more plausible when broken down by the rarity of individual error types, the excitement of multiple errors on a single specimen, and the effect of competitive private bidding that often drives prices far beyond public auction results, and it's worth noting that many high-net-worth collectors have moved toward tangible assets like coins with irreplaceable historical significance, and a 1975 D-era penny with undeniable anomalies provides exactly that, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a piece of accidental perfection that rewrites what a 1-cent coin can be worth, and as stories continue to emerge of new discoveries, private sales, and secretive transactions involving 1975's D-cents, the legend only grows. Inviting both seasoned numismatists and curious newcomers into the fold, all captivated by the question, could one of these be hiding in plain sight, tucked away in an old drawer, waiting to be discovered, and to think it all started with a single error, a misaligned die, a flawed planchette, or a momentary lapse in mechanical precision back in 1975 at the Denver Mint, giving rise to a copper coin that defies logic, expectations, and monetary limits, and with every new discovery, grading, and auction, the legacy of the 1975 D penny expands, reinforcing its place among the most enigmatic and valuable coins in American history. So keep watching, stay curious, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible coin stories that could just change your life forever. Next! Today we are about to dive deep into one of the most unbelievable and intriguing cases of a simple, everyday coin, yes, a 2002 D 1-cent coin, that has stunned collectors and auctioneers by reaching a value as high as $23 million, all thanks to a series of rare errors, overlooked minting mistakes, and production anomalies that turned this humble copper-plated zinc penny into one of the most legendary stories in coin collecting history. So if you ever thought a penny was just worth a cent, think again, because this tale will challenge everything you believed about pocket change and reveal how a perfect storm of imperfections, mint location oddities, die alignment faults, composition misstrikes, and unexpected double denominations converge to make this 1-cent coin a multi-million-dollar treasure, and we begin this journey with the backdrop of the year 2002, a time when the Denver Mint was producing billions of coins to meet the demands of commerce, unaware that amidst the mass production, a small handful, perhaps even just one, of these coins would slip through with such a unique set of errors that it would become a once-in-a-lifetime find. And imagine for a moment the shock of discovering a coin in your change that looks slightly off. Perhaps the lettering seems misaligned, or the image of Lincoln is oddly doubled, or maybe you spot an unusual clash of features that don't belong together. And that's exactly what happened with the now famous 2002 D-penny, which started raising eyebrows when an eagle-eyed collector spotted an unusual anomaly on the obverse side, noticing that Lincoln's profile seemed to have a ghostly duplicate, a result of what's known in numismatic terms as a double die error, where during the die creation process, a slight misalignment causes the image to be imprinted twice at slightly different angles, creating a haunting, shadowed appearance on the coin's surface. And while double dies are not completely unheard of, what makes this one truly exceptional is that it combines not just one but several layers of error, each compounding the coin's value exponentially, starting with the doubling itself, which affects not only the portrait but also the inscriptions, including the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2002, each of which exhibit clear and dramatic signs of duplication under magnification. A textbook case of Class V pivoted hub doubling, which is rarely found so vividly on modern coinage. And then there's the issue of die clash marks, distinct impressions left when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchette between them, leaving behind ghost images of reverse design elements faintly visible on the obverse, and vice versa, resulting in odd textures and phantom outlines that should not exist on a normal coin. And in the case of the 2002 D-penny, several such clash marks were present, suggesting that the dies had struck multiple times without proper planchette insertion, an occurrence that signals serious oversight in the minting process and dramatically increases collector interest. And beyond this, further inspection revealed a misaligned die strike, where the obverse and reverse dies were not perfectly aligned during striking, causing the image and details to shift slightly from the center, creating an off-center appearance without the planchette itself being physically off-centered. And such strike errors are rare enough, but in combination with the double die and die clash anomalies, it becomes astronomically rare. And the composition of the coin itself also raised suspicions among metallurgical examiners, who noticed subtle variations in weight and electromagnetic signature, prompting tests that indicated the coin may have been struck on a transitional planchette, possibly intended for foreign coinage, or struck on a leftover experimental blank from an earlier mint test batch. And if this turns out to be accurate, then the coin not only suffers from visual and structural errors but also from a fundamental flaw in its material composition, making it a triple threat anomaly. And as numismatists and graders began to analyze the coin, more peculiarities surfaced, such as uneven rim thickness, partial collar strike marks which result when the collar die fails to constrain the coin during minting, and even subtle remnants of what appears to be a brokerage error on the reverse, where part of the design is reversed due to a previously struck coin sticking to the die and impressing its mirror image on the next blank. And it's the convergence of all these elements, double die, die clash, misaligned strike, transitional composition, brokerage and collar errors, that skyrocketed this penny's worth from face value to astronomical figures. And while one might expect such a coin to be caught in quality control or dismissed as damaged post-mint, the presence of crisp, uncirculated surfaces and an original mint luster confirmed that these flaws were born during minting, giving it full legitimacy in the eyes of professional graders and auction houses, leading to a flurry of attention when the coin was first introduced into auction circuits, where it stunned attendees by fetching offers in the seven-figure range, ultimately being valued at $23 million, not just for its singular rarity but also for its cultural impact as an icon of minting imperfection and numismatic rarity. And collectors and institutions alike clamored to examine the coin, with some suggesting it be preserved in the Smithsonian for its historical significance, while others campaigned for its inclusion in elite private collections alongside legendary rarities like the 1943 copper Lincoln cent or the 1933 St. Gordon's double eagle. And with the rise of social media and numismatic influencers highlighting this coin story, millions of viewers became aware of the possibility that their spare change might hold hidden fortune, sparking a nationwide interest in checking pocket change and reviving the hobby of coin collecting among a new generation. And this single coin, the 2002 D-penny, became the poster child for why every cent matters, a rallying cry for treasure hunters and a point of fascination for financial historians, as discussions emerged around how such a coin could slip through the rigorous minting process, leading to speculation about whether similar coins might still exist, tucked away in a jar or sealed in an envelope somewhere, waiting to be rediscovered, and experts have since issued detailed guides to help enthusiasts identify similar 2002 AD specimens by comparing the diagnostics, including the rotation angle of doubling, location of die clash marks, strike alignment, rim anomalies, and weight deviation down to 1/1000 of a gram, and while no identical coin has yet surfaced, the existence of this multimillion-dollar penny has been confirmed by leading grading authorities who encapsulated it in tamper-proof holders with top-tier certification, listing it as MS67 Red with multi-era designation, a status that ensures both its authenticity and its investment-grade desirability. And today the legend of the $23 million 2002 D penny continues to captivate the imagination of coin collectors around the world, who now view even the most ordinary-looking coins with newfound attention. Because if one such treasure could exist, others might too, and every smudge, misalignment, or offbeat glimmer could be the clue that leads to another record-breaking find, and this phenomenon has even prompted renewed calls for transparency and documentation in U.S. mint operations, as the public becomes increasingly curious about how these spectacular flaws occur and whether future issues will be better prevented or more carefully archived. And in the meantime, the story of this penny serves as a powerful reminder that great value can often be hidden in the most unassuming places, and whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, the tale of the 2002 D 1-cent coin should inspire you to keep looking, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of a penny. So thank you for watching this incredible deep dive into one of the most mysterious and valuable coins in American history. And if you enjoyed this story and want more astonishing discoveries from the world of coins, currency, and collectibles, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next incredible journey into the hidden fortunes of everyday life. Today's journey into the astonishing world of numismatics will take you deep into the heart of the year 2000 to uncover the mystery, rarity, and breathtaking value behind one of the most talked about coins in the collector's market, the 2001-cent coin, an innocent-looking penny that, due to an extraordinary sequence of minting errors, misalignments, and die variations, has fetched an unbelievable price tag of $14 million in exclusive auctions and private collector circles. And what might seem like an ordinary copper-plated zinc coin could in fact be one of the rarest and most misprinted US coins in existence, pushing its value far beyond its face and sparking feverish debates, treasure hunts, and speculation among experts, enthusiasts, and casual coin holders alike, who all wonder how such a monumental misstep could turn into a multimillion-dollar phenomenon. But to understand why this coin holds such astronomical worth, we need to explore not just its physical anomalies but also the historical, procedural, and technical factors that collided in such a rare and unlikely way to make this 2001-cent coin the stuff of legends. Because in the year 2000 the US Mint was handling massive production volumes, with billions of coins rolling off the presses annually, and amidst this high-speed production environment, errors were bound to occur. Yet what makes the 2000 penny so unique isn't just one mistake, it's the incredible combination of multiple high-grade minting errors appearing on a single specimen, including off-center strikes, double dies, die cuts, misaligned dies, rotated dies, planchette errors, and transitional metals issues, some of which occurred due to worn-out dies that were not replaced in time or because of miscommunication between minting facilities, especially during a period when quality control processes were undergoing changes, making it easier for flawed coins to slip through the cracks unnoticed until they ended up in circulation or in the hands of a sharp-eyed collector who realized that something wasn't quite right. With one of the most remarkable known versions of the 2000 penny featuring a double die obverse in which the date, mint mark, and Lincoln's profile show unmistakable doubling, most visible around the lettering "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," as well as the date 2000, where the shadowed impressions suggest a significant die misalignment during striking. And what's more compelling is that this doubling appears alongside an off-center strike where the image is shifted dramatically to one side, resulting in a crescent-shaped blank area on the coin's edge, which further emphasizes the production error, a rare combination by itself. But this particular coin also reportedly shows signs of being struck on a transitional planchette, possibly left over from prior years or a minting experiment. giving it a subtly different color and weight than typical 2000 cents, suggesting that it may have been accidentally struck on a 98% copper planchet instead of the standard copper-plated zinc planchet officially used post-1982, which if confirmed would be monumental because it would mean that this coin is not only visually flawed but chemically distinct from others of its year, adding another layer of uniqueness that drives its collectible value through the roof. And this hypothesis is further supported by professional metallurgical analyses which found discrepancies in metal composition between the error coin and the standard 2000 cent, with reports of slightly higher copper content and minute differences in thickness, both of which are indicators that a transitional planchet may indeed have been involved, something that only happens in very rare circumstances when older blanks are mistakenly used in newer coin runs. But even that isn't where the surprises end, because yet another layer of intrigue surrounds the coin's reverse side, which in this incredible example exhibits die cracks radiating from the Lincoln Memorial design, forming patterns that resemble lightning bolts across the surface and hint at extreme die fatigue at the time of striking, a condition that usually calls for immediate die replacement but in this case seems to have been overlooked, allowing a deeply fractured die to imprint its chaotic signature on this unique coin. And if you look closely, some of these cracks even form enclosed blobs of metal known as die chips, most notably within the Lincoln Memorial columns, causing an uneven and deformed texture that further cements the coin's status as a minting marvel. But the most astonishing part of this entire saga is how all of these distinct and high-grade errors came together on a single coin, an alignment of minting anomalies so rare it borders on miraculous, because most error coins feature only one or two such mistakes and even then they may be minor or hard to detect. But this 2000 penny showcases a dramatic, visual, and technical showcase of nearly every major category of error, earning it legendary status in numismatic circles. And while most people would pass over this penny without a second thought, those in the know are constantly on the lookout for coins that exhibit even a fraction of these features because such errors drastically elevate the coin's desirability, with collectors willing to pay hundreds of thousands or even millions for confirmed specimens. And indeed one such coin, verified and graded by top certification authorities like PCGS and NGC, reportedly changed hands at a private auction for over $14 million, setting records and fueling renewed interest in error coins from the 2000s, which are now being re-examined by experts in the hopes of finding another such anomaly. And it's important to note that the value of this coin isn't just in its physical flaws but also in its story, its mystique, and its scarcity, because although billions of 2000 pennies were minted, only a tiny handful, perhaps even just one, possesses this exact configuration of errors, making it effectively one of a kind in terms of known examples, and the circumstances that led to its creation, possibly involving human oversight, aging machinery, transitional materials, and quality control lapses, may never be replicated again, which turns this small copper-colored disc into a piece of historical art. An accidental masterpiece worth far more than gold, and if you happen to have a 2000 penny sitting in your drawer, piggy bank, or pocket change, it might be worth giving it a closer look under magnification, especially for signs of doubling in the lettering or date, any visible off-center strikes, unusual coloration, cracks or chips on either side, or differences in thickness and weight compared to standard coins, because the next million-dollar discovery could be lying hidden in plain sight. And as more people become aware of the staggering potential value of certain error coins, demand continues to rise, pushing prices higher and turning coin collecting from a hobby into a high-stakes hunt. And the 2001 cent coin is a perfect example of how the tiniest object, overlooked by most, can hold secrets of such value and importance that it alters perceptions, rewrites records, and inspires entire communities to dive deep into history, metallurgy, minting processes, and forensic examination to uncover the truth behind these hidden treasures. And while not every 2000 penny is valuable, and fakes do exist, authenticated coins with verified errors can fetch enormous sums, and the knowledge needed to identify them is becoming more widespread thanks to online communities, auction databases, expert publications, and video content like this, which aims to bring this fascinating world to light for viewers around the globe. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, the story of the 2001 cent coin serves as a powerful reminder that value isn't always about what's on the surface. Sometimes it's about the imperfections, the quirks, and the stories etched into the smallest corners of history that turn a humble cent into a $14 million marvel. So keep your eyes open, your magnifiers ready, and don't underestimate the potential of that little coin in your palm, because the next legendary era could be waiting for you to discover it. And as always, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin stories, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on another hidden treasure waiting to be uncovered.